Assalamu alaikum, this is Ahmed Kalanch,
Assalamu alaikum, this is Nasreen Karkutli.
and officially we are starting, inshallah, the season for Pinewood Derby.
Yay.
So, what is a Pinewood Derby? Pinewood Derby is an annual event that we host at PAC 1215. In fact, most of the Cub Scouts packs host that as well. It's a very long tradition. And the Pinewood Derby is an opportunity where the Scouts will build a race car out of a block of pine wood. They will build it themselves with some help from the adults, and they will get a chance to race it against their fellow Scouts in the pack. So the top three actually competing finalists are eligible also to compete in the district.
So, how do we build the car? Where do we get this kit from?
Right, so you should have received this official Pinewood Derby kit. And inside here, you're going to have a few key items that's going to be the base of your car. And there's more that goes to it other than what you get in the kit, but this is basically what starts you off. The most important part is the block of pine wood itself. And this has places where you can put the wheels and the axles, and you can draw out your design, and we're going to help cut it out for you, and then you can paint it, and eventually when you're done, it's going to look something like this, you know, the wheels, the weights, everything like that.
How can I tell where is the front and where is the back on the block so I can draw my car correctly?
Yeah, so there's rules in the Pinewood Derby that you can follow, but the rules actually don't specify which side has to be the front or back. It does say you can't modify where the wheels go, so as long as you put them here, it's going to be fine. You can shorten the car as short as you want, of course, without modifying the axles. Traditionally, the longer side is going to be the front, but you don't necessarily have to do that. You can do it whichever way you want. You can shorten it if you want. And the weights you're going to want to put on the back side. So the car can technically go down either way, but it's going to be more aerodynamic one way, and you want the weights in the back. So it's kind of up to your creativity, how you want to design.
Okay. What else in the...
What else is in the box? There's some instructions here.
Yep.
And then you have a set of wheels. You got 4 of these plastic wheels. And then you get 4 nails. And these nails are what are going to be the axle of the wheel. So you kind of put that in there, right? The nail holds the wheels. And then you hammer these into the side of the Pinewood Derby.
You will be hammering them in these spaces here. So, what are the steps to create my car?
So the first step after you receive your kit, watch the welcome video that you're watching right now, review the website. It's going to give you a timeline of all the steps that you can expect. But in summary, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw your design. The scout is going to draw their design. So they can take a pencil and kind of put here on the side what they want the car shape to look like. If they want to cut from the top, a certain thing, you know, however they want to draw it, they will draw that on the block of wood. And then the important thing is to put your name on the bottom, not on the top, right? Because if we're going to cut the top off, the name is going to go away. So put the name, grade, and gender on the bottom. Write that on the bottom right over here. And you're going to turn in just this block of wood. You're not going to turn in the wheels or anything else, just the design, right? Next, after that, inshallah, we're going to cut the design out for you. Brother Abdul Karim has been doing that for years. He's this year we have about 70 kids, so it's a lot of work to do that, and he has about 1 week to cut those out and then hand them back to you. After you get the car back, then you work on completing it, which means any sanding, adding weights, putting the wheels, painting, stickers, whatever you want to do to make your car your own. You do that, and then you turn it back in before the final inspection day or during the final inspection day. If you need some help with the finishing touches, with the weights, with the wheels, we have a tool that helps to put the axles in. You can turn them in without putting the wheels on. You can turn them in without the weights, and you can sit with us in the workshop and help finish your car. We'll have hot glue and washers and stuff like that as well.
So we will have, inshallah, a workshop to inspect the weights, inspect the shapes, inspect the wheels on each car and any car, and we will adjust the weights up and down as needed. That's why Brother Ahmed said that don't put the weights on the bottom, because it's going to be very hard to adjust the weights if it's on the bottom of the car, and it might interfere with the wheels when the car is going on the track. Try to put the weights on the top.
Right, so that's an important point. When we put the car on the track, it has like kind of notches that it will go down like this. So if you add weights to the bottom of the car, the wheels might not touch the track because of those notches, right? The weights are going to hold it up. So the weights don't go on the bottom of the Pinewood Derby car.
So there's one more thing is, so when we look at these cars, these are like dry paint, okay? Some of them they use like markers or whatever. Sometimes people they use acrylic paint, heavier paint. And when you calculate the weight of the car, which should be
5 ounces. So you can see we have like some washers here. The race works basically on gravity. There's a ramp, okay? We put the cars at the top of the ramp and then we release them. There's nothing propelling these to go forward except their own weight and gravity. Well, if you have just physics, right? And this is a good chance to teach your children physics as well. If you have more weight, it's more potential energy, right? So it's more that's pushing it down. So the heavier the car, the faster it's going to go. So that's why there's a weight limit. And the weight limit is 5 ounces.
5 ounces. And with these 5 ounces, it means the wood, the wheels, the nails, the weights, and even the paint. Because sometimes if you make the car perfect, 5 ounces, and then you go ahead and paint it, that will bring it over 5 ounces, and that we will have to fix that.
Right. So your goal should be get as close as you can to 5 ounces without going over. If you have a very sensitive scale, try to get it, 4.99 or 5.00, whatever you can do. If you don't have a very accurate scale, that's not going to give you the 0.00 accuracy. Just shoot for 4.9. And make sure it's not going over. If it's going over, we're going to have to drill into it, try to get some weight out. If it's over by a lot, we might have to remove weights, damage the car. So definitely don't go over the 5 ounces.
So what about the weights? There are multiple types of weights that you can put on your car. Maybe some objects you have at home. The simplest is washers. There's also tungsten, which is denser. It's smaller in size and denser. You could drill the car and put the tungsten weights inside. However, I wouldn't recommend drilling and putting the weight inside, because if the car is over, it will take way much effort to bring it under 5 ounces. Because the problem is we need a high sensitivity scale, which you might not have it at home, and when you wait at home, it could be like a little bit over 5, but when we wait at the school in the workshop, it might go way over 5, and then we will have to sand if we can't get out the tungsten from inside the car.
Yep. Tungsten tungsten is probably the best weights you can use for it because, like Nisreen said, the density is higher. So if you want to add 4 ounces of weight to it, the amount of space it's going to take is less. So the car is still more aerodynamic. If you're adding weights with washers, it takes up more space on the car. However, the downside of tungsten and why most people use washers, the tungsten can be pretty expensive, right? You have to invest in that. You can go to Amazon, right? Pinewood Derby tungsten weights. The Scout Shop sells them, but they're not cheap. Tungsten is a pretty valuable metal relative to steel, right? So that's the downside.
So on the race day, what are we going to be doing?
Yeah, so the race day, inshallah, we'll have from the day before the track ready, built and tested. And then we're going to have, previous to the race day, all of the cars inspected and passed. And we will know who is going to be racing. Inshallah, we'll put all of those cars into the software. We're going to run a software. And the software is going to tell us the different heats that the cars will race in. Each car is going to race once per each lane. So each time it races, it's going to be paired with random cars, but it will go eventually into one of each of the 4 lanes.
And that's to make it even and fair for all the cars, just in case there is like little difference between the each track. That will make it fair for all the cars once they run down the 4 tracks.
Right. Since every single car is gonna run once in each of the 4 lanes, there's no chance that there's a competitive advantage in one lane leading to one car winning instead of another. And the software is gonna average the 4 times across the different lanes, and then it will rank order all of the cars, and then the top 3 of each one. So maybe you're not finishing first place in the individual race, but as long as your average time across the 4 lanes is first, you can still finish in first place.
How are we going to be racing between the dens? So we have lions, tigers, wolves, bears, and so on. So who's going to be racing against who?
Yeah, there's going to be 2 brackets. Inshallah, we'll have the older grades in one bracket and the younger grades in a different bracket. And sometimes what we like to do when we have the top 3 from each of them, we race them together to have a final winner. But in the end, there's going to be 3 winners from the olders and 3 winners from the youngers. And each of those 6 cars are eligible to race in the district race.
So we will have 6 winners at the end.
6 winners, 6 trophies, first, second, third for each of the younger and older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do we have any tips that we can give the parents in order to build a sophisticated Pinewood Derby car that can really win the race and adhere to the rules of the Pinewood Derby?
On the website, on the webpage, there's a section called Building a Winner, which has a very nice video from Mark Roper, who goes really into the science of building the car. It's an entertaining video you can watch together. But I can give you some tips as well. First of all, the key is the weight. So the closer you get to 5 ounces without going over, the better. The second thing is, since the car is up here, if you have the weight down here, it has less energy than if the weight is up here. So
the weight should be on towards the back, not towards the front.
Right. You want to push the weight as far back as you can to give the car more energy on the ramp. However, if you push it too far back, then the car doesn't have traction and it's going to want to go like this, right? So there's like a kind of a sweet spot, where the center of gravity of the car is just in front of the back axle, right? So when you find where the car is balancing, you want that to be barely in front of the back axle. Another thing you can do, these wheels are not perfect. they have some imperfections, so you can kind of sand down around the side. One thing that you can do is like drill holes in this or make it lighter. That's going to give you an unfair advantage, so you can't do that.
And you can't use any wheels other than the wheels that are provided in your box. Or, for example, if you lost it or it's damaged, you have to get a Pinewood Derby.
They sell the replacement wheels
Yeah.
at the Scout shop, but you have to use the specific ones that are the official ones.
What about the nails?
Yeah, the nails, who are the axles, they're also not perfect. They have like little notches over here, so when you put the wheel in
Close to the
here,
top.
it catches onto that. So what you can do is you can sand these nails down, which is allowed to do, and really polish them very well. And if you polish the inside of the wheel as well as the nail, that also makes it smoother. And then what you can do is you can add dry powder lubricant into the axle as well. You're not allowed to use wet lubricant, but you can use the dry powder lubricant, which is called graphite. Graphite is the one that they typically have. And they sell that at the Scout shop. You can find it on Amazon as well.
Can I tilt the wheels anyway, like this or like this to make the car faster?
So no, the axle themselves can't be bent. That also can give you an unfair advantage. They have to go into those holes that are provided. And when you build the car, all four wheels has to roll. When you put it on the table and you roll it, all four of them has to touch. If you have it in a situation where one of the wheels are higher than the other one and only three of them are rolling, that also spends less energy turning the wheel. More of the energy goes into pushing the car down, which also gives you an unfair advantage. So you have to make sure the four wheels are touching.
So the car will be disqualified if it has this problem. And also, if you want to see if it really rolls, the four wheels are rolling correctly, you have to just push it from the back without touching it. Because if you touch it, it looks like the four wheels are touching. However, you just place it, push it from the back, and let it roll this way.
Yep. Another thing is the aerodynamic design. That's kind of the obvious one. If you have the car where it looks like a block like this, there's going to be air resistance going down. The air is, being blocked. So the thinner the car is, the faster it will go. So that's another important thing as well.
And it's important on the race day to just bring your Scout spirit, come have fun, race your car, and it doesn't matter if you want it to win or not. Just let's have fun and teach the kids some science while building this and make them feel accomplished by creating their own Pinewood Derby car.
Yeah, it's all about having fun. Competitiveness can be part of that, but you can also have a bonding opportunity with your kids doing it together. Also, if your child is not really into the competitive part of it, they can go for design. They can put stickers on it, paint it real nice, pick a design that they really like, and really just enjoy the building part of the car, just the experience of building the car. And they can put that in their room or somewhere like that, and they can enjoy the car itself as a piece of art. It will still race. It might not finish in first place, but they might get the satisfaction that they designed something that they really had fun with. So that's another option as well.
In addition to this video, also your den leaders will be talking about Pinewood Derby cars during their den meetings. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to them. You can reach out to us at any time, and good luck.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for your time.